Yeah, it fits me.
It's good. Dude, a lot of electric truck news today. A lot.
Well, that's good. I didn't get my drink.
Do you need a drink? Well, maybe there's
Mike, can you give me a drink and
Michael can
a
get you a drink.
red Solo cup? Well, we can't advertise pure tea, so.
Red Solo Cup. Guys, welcome
Anything.
to another Talking Truck Show. I'm Andre, and I'm joined by...
Rapper Fuzzman, Mr. Truck.
Is that your new name?
Yes. Yes.
So guys, so Roman bought flat bill hats yesterday, and then there's a running thing that we have to start the show with a flat bill now. So there we go.
Good. Now I'll never wear it again.
That's out of our
done
system. Today's truck show is about news. So there's some news that came out today that has to do with electric trucks.
That's good.
Hybrid trucks.
I believe in electric trucks.
You do?
Anything that can come out with 100% torque, I'm all for. And that's, trains, all that stuff. It runs off of the
Planes and automobiles.
Yes, diesel generated electrical power. It's on your big steam scoop shovel things, what are those things called, big excavators. All the big toys have that. So that, train's been doing it for 50 years. So, and the space shuttle, the thing that landed on the moon and drove around the rover?
Yeah, was it diesel?
That was an engine in each wheel, all electric.
No way.
It was.
Well, the Rivian truck is like that. But before we move on, this Talking Truck Show is brought to you by our friends at AutoStop Eliminator. You could check them out at autostopeliminator.com. You know how the auto stop system works?
Yes,
right?
I do.
You come to a stop, the engine shuts off, and some people don't like it.
Well, yeah, actually, today I was running that, and it shuts off your electricity, all your fan for your air conditioning.
Well, yeah,
So
it kind of lowers itself,
Well,
right?
I shut mine clear off, and I'm
Really?
thinking, I'm sitting there going, well, I'm going to burn up.
Look, you have a
Oh,
drink.
so you're so sweet.
Don't spill that.
Thank
All right,
you,
Michael,
thank
thank
you,
you.
Dad.
But AutoStop Eliminator, you can install this little device, and you could not have that feature come on next time you start your truck.
I may have to get one for this summer because that really made me mad when the air conditioner went off today.
And this is a GM-based pigtail, basically, and they also have a one for Fords. They have several different ones, so it depends. Just check them out if you are looking for that type of product.
Cool.
So we have a lot of people joining, as always. I appreciate your questions. After some news, we're gonna hit some questions as well, so keep them coming. Keep your comments and questions. So the big news today, this morning, was that Ford made an announcement jointly with Rivian that Ford is investing $500 million into Rivian. And look at these two guys.
Holy cow, which one's Rivian? I mean,
You know this.
Bill Ford is the old guy, right?
Yes. So that's the executive chairman, Bill Ford. And that's RJ from Rivian. He's the CEO.
Well, that's a big one. You did New York Auto Show. You've been
Yes.
gone a lot lately. You went to New York Auto Show. You went to Spain. You went to Antarctica. You've been everywhere. So, we're glad to have you back. We thought maybe somebody kidnapped you.
No, I'm still here.
But the New York Auto Show, Rivian had a big splash there.
Yeah,
I
well,
love that display. You could see all the cool stuff that's coming out.
Yeah, it was
with.
cool. So on TFL Truck, we just recently published a full walk-around of the R1T truck. It's a prototype still. So that's the thing. Rivian is a new company. They're trying to launch themselves,
Yeah,
right?
and I didn't realize it was a midsize. I thought it was like a half-ton kind of thing.
Well,
It's a
that's what I
smaller
asked him.
one.
I said,
Yeah.
is this a mid-size? Is it a half-ton? Is it a full-size? He said, well, the cabin is bigger than the mid-size,
Okay.
but it has a 5-foot bed.
like a Dakota. Like the Dakota was like
So
a
it's like
mid-size
a
thing.
little in-betweener, right? So it's a little bit bigger than the mid-size, but not quite a full-size.
Did you sit in it? See how you fit?
No.
It was there. You were there, and you didn't sit in it.
They had handlers. They had a lot
I
of
don't care
handlers.
what they did to you. I
So
just
these were like
I
one of
would've jumped in it.
I know you probably climb
I
underneath
would have.
it.
I would have climbed all over it. They don't stop me. I go to jail a few times, but they don't stop me from looking at things.
So Amazon announced a $700 million investment in Rivian several weeks ago.
Did that give them a board seat?
I don't know, but Ford asked for a seat on the board members group,
I would
basically.
think so, but I would
one
yeah,
of 7 seats.
I would want more money. I'd want a couple $100 million if I was going to give a board seat to my company, because that's hot. That truck is hot. Everybody loves it. Everybody likes the look of it.
Yeah, but is
And
it
the
going to
numbers
come? Is it going to come to fruition? Is it going to? They're promising they're going to start building it in October of 2020, but selling it basically in December of 2020, which is about a year and a half away. but there's always this, are they going to make it? New companies are hard to build.
Yeah, but like Tesla, we thought about Tesla doing the same thing, and they finally came out and started squirting out some cars. But tell me this:
Yes.
when is the 150 hybrid coming out?
Yeah, so 2020 model year. So I'm expecting it within the next year.
Well, the next year, then I'm not sure why Ford wants that if they've got one coming that soon. But
here's the thing:
the technology is what they want.
They wanted to collaborate on a vehicle, basically using Rivian chassis, which is a skateboard thing where the battery's in their center. You got independent suspension.
Right.
This is the skateboard. Basically, so they're going to collaborate on the vehicle. We don't know exactly.
Hey, that'd be one way Ford got a rear independent suspension on a pickup truck, wouldn't it?
There's a prototype, and you can go to TFLtruck.com. In Dearborn, there was a prototype F-150 with independent rear.
Yes.
But like an Expedition.
Yeah.
This one had an independent rear suspension, and this is rumored to be either an electric, full electric, or a hybrid F-150. And Ford said both are coming.
Yes.
So the hybrid is coming within the year, and electric maybe within 2 or 3 years. So this is interesting. But GM was also interested in the Rivian.
Really? So they're going to
but
have
GM,
so much money.
But GM, but it didn't work out.
Oh,
So Ford stepped in instead of GM.
there you go.
We don't know
You got to
exactly
be quick
what-
on the market, man. It's very competitive.
We don't know what happened, but
There are a couple of theories as to what happened. So some commenters were already picking up on it in the chat that GM wanted basically exclusive rights to Rivian's technology, that skateboard chassis, whereas
Yeah.
Ford is just licensing it.
So it
Rivian
was
was open to
exclusive
licensing
versus
some-
non-exclusive.
Right. You're right. That's a good decision. I would not be giving up all that important stuff.
And,
for
and
it.
another theory is I think Ford leapfrogged GM just because Ford came in with a better offer. So Rivian was probably talking to Ford and GM at the same time.
And seeing what's
Yeah.
happening.
Ford
Right.
just-
Right.
Yeah,
Ford
they
just
fucked
snuck
up
in
the
there
bell.
and grabbed him.
Yeah.
Well, Bill Ford was there.
Well, he was
You
there
saw
in
him.
person. Yes. Yes.
So he's a deal maker, right?
Yeah, well, he is. I mean,
So-
that would be good. And I
so-
see it as the future. I see electric trucks as the future.
But is this a danger to Tesla? Right. Tesla is pretty successful with their cars.
Oh, have they brought their pickup out yet, or they just played with the idea?
No,
Yeah,
they showed us a rendering of their pickup truck, which looked like a medium-duty, gigantic black monster, whatever that is.
that is. It looks like a UPS truck or something. But
No, it looks like a medium-duty, like 6,500
it's a
truck.
low cab forward. That's what that is. Low cab forward.
So,
a work
but they
truck.
haven't shown the real prototype. Elon Musk kept tweeting that he's gonna. Their pickup truck is going to have unique features, tailgates, and all this
Well,
really cool stuff, but it's not here.
Musk is crazy, right? You know that, don't
Really?
you? Yeah. I mean, good gosh, look what's going on. He tweets something. He's like the other guy that tweets all the time. And people go nuts.
You dare not say his name.
No, I don't. But I mean, he does this tweeting storm, and he does not sound like a big responsible guy of a corporation, but maybe it'll work out for him because things are slowing down. You guys got a Tesla, and you got it cheap. You buy it last year, but what does that say? It says there's not a bunch of people lining up to buy these again. There's a bunch of leftovers now. So that tells you, they're going to have operating capital
They're cooling
losses.
off. It's cooling off.
Yes, and they've had some problems with cash flow. So that pickup may not happen for a while.
I know, because they need the factory to build it, and they don't have capacity to build it, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are other companies that are toying with electric trucks, right? There's Atlas, there's Bollinger. Toyota is really heavily investing into fuel cell technology.
Well, Toyota's already there. That RAV4, it's got electric motors on the back wheels on the all-wheel drive, and there is no drive shaft.
Yeah, it's
But that's
hybrid
there.
system.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
right.
there. So if they can do it, everybody else will be doing it. And that's the independent suspension. But that RAV4 thing impressed me with what they're doing. What are you showing trucks for? Oh, those are Teslas
This
or
is
whatever.
a truck show. Why are we talking about RAV4?
Why we? Those aren't trucks we're hauling. Who cares? What are these
We're
things?
working
Let
with
me-
Kenworth.
Let me explain.
Explain this picture to me.
Let me explain. Here, the Exhibit A is a Kenworth semi-truck, okay?
Yes, Class A.
Yes, but it's got Toyota hydrogen fuel cell guts underneath it. So
Oh.
Toyota is now working with Kenworth to test out some of the fuel cell technology. Fuel cell basically means you're not plugging into a plug.
Right.
You're actually filling up with hydrogen.
Right.
And the hydrogen reaction creates electricity and also water as a byproduct.
Yes, you get all this water. You got to go out there and dump your water. They think the truck's peeing all the
or
time.
you can drink it. It's like distilled
Well, the
water.
military's going to do that.
Yeah,
Some of their
the- yeah,
vehicles. They're
military
planning on
wants to use
getting
this.
it through. Well, that would be cool.
GM is working on a fuel cell technology. Remember that
Yes.
ZH2?
Yes.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the military.
Wow.
So Things
Well,
are.
that's weird. Why did they go with Peterbilt? Why would they go with Kenworth instead
Yes,
of
is there a
Peterbilt?
question?
Same company.
I think this is an interesting comment. Kieran Steele says the people that buy a Rivian won't tow much. It's an adventure vehicle.
Well, if it's a midsize, I agree with that. But if they make, because I heard that they're going to make a heavy duty. If they've got other trucks in line, I mean that 100% torque, like I'm saying, believe me, mark my words. When you say 100% torque in the towing industry, you got my attention. So I think if they make a bigger truck, yes. And if it's a smaller truck, it probably is a sport vehicle. They got such cool tailgates. They got all these
Folding
compartments.
tailgates, yes.
You mean you can put stuff in the front for crying out loud? It's almost like a
He said
Volkswagen.
groceries go there, but here's the thing. He also said the Rivian prototype can tow up to 10,000 pounds.
That's an awful lot for a midsize.
Which is a half-ton territory.
Right.
Because all midsizes stop at 7 or 7,500 pounds
Right.
approximately.
To get to 10,000 pounds, you need a lot of weight in that truck. It has to be a certain weight,
And it's
certain
got,
wheelbase.
But it's also got air suspension. So potentially
true, it
you
could level
you
out.
could level yourself out. Maybe you can have some support.
Well, if
for
it's
the low-
four-wheel independent power, that thing could keep compensating for all that sway, you know?
But here's what I told him. I said, I want your truck on the Ike.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
we got to take this thing on the Ike gauntlet. But
Yes.
I, of course, I have to wait like a year and a half. So,
Well, we could test before that.
we-
Talk to Ford. Ford will get us one.
So it's really interesting. Upcoming, I would say a year to year and a half is going to be crazy because you have startup companies kind of disrupting, and then you have big, established companies trying to react.
Well, remember Tucker. Tucker had this great car, and the big three in Detroit says, we're going to spank them and put them out of business, and they did. They built 100 cars, and boom.
But now
they
they're
disappeared.
collaborating. They're trying to collaborate.
I know,
maybe.
so it's a different
Maybe.
adventure now. So we'll see if they try to choke what's it called, Rivian, or if they're going to make him, let him bloom into something really big and productive for all of us to enjoy.
By the way, there's also news with Penske and Freightliner M2.
Yes.
So they have a prototype. You saw it at
I
the work
saw
truck
it at the
show,
work
right?
truck show, yeah.
How was
I mean,
that?
well,
Did you look climb underneath?
No,
it?
I was more interested in the 250 where they had the new electric system. That's what I did most of my videos about. But that's really cool. I mean, they got brake regeneration. They got all the stuff that everybody has. And say a Class 6 truck, which is what an M2 is, that makes a lot of sense for city deliveries. Trash trucks, all those things don't go long distances. And an electric hybrid or any of those new fangled power systems could really be good. Anytime you're doing a city truck, that makes sense. They've been doing it for a while. Peterbilt did that a long time ago.
So the news today is that Penske is working with Freightliner. Obviously, they have been working together to develop the truck, but they installed 4 locations for fast chargers.
Yeah.
For heavy-duty trucks, about 14 slots basically for big trucks to come in.
Right.
So they're trying to develop the infrastructure because the infrastructure is still a problem.
Well, that'd be a big thing in California because they have all
Yeah.
those ports, and they actually really limit your emissions on those ports. They limit the year of your truck. If you got too old a truck and you're smogging, it can't go into ports. So over there, I mean, they could go electric right off the bat. There's juice coming in from all over. They got plenty of things. Tesla's over there big. All these prototype things are hanging out in California. I'm sure infrastructure could happen very fast in California. And I'm surprised that's not is that where they're testing them now?
Yeah, in California
that would make
specifically.
sense.
But that's a good point. Like, everybody's talking about Tesla has a semi truck coming up, right? But how are you going to charge them? Where?
that's right.
How's that going to be happening?
Well, Tesla's got stuff, every 100 miles on the interstate. They've got the ones
Fast
for cars.
chargers, right? But
So-
how do you pull your 18-wheeler in there?
Well, very carefully, I guess. I don't.
I don't know. By the way, Joey's cleaning lady has a couple of great comments, and it looks like soon we're going to be talking about like kilowatts per mile. Using
Yeah.
energy per mile,
I'll have to learn the metric system, won't I?
Watt hours per mile.
Huh?
Watt hours per mile.
Watt
or like
hours.
watt hours per mile. Like
What? Okay.
What?
What hours? For
Or
what?
kilowatt hours, basically capacity, energy capacity per mile when you're towing. So we're gonna have to change the way we're thinking a little bit more, and
Yeah.
not specifically talking about MPGs.
Right. We new
but-
technology, new
but electricity
terminology.
is going to be important.
Got to learn another language. Here we go.
So should we hit some more questions? Is there another question, or should we do a prepared
have
one?
you gone through all this already?
Well, before we hit the other segment, we always take a little snack. And this is Paisley's
Yes, it
jerky,
is.
grass-fed jerky. They're based in Utah. Check them out at paisleys.com.
Oh, peppered beef strip. That's one of my favorite ones.
Can you please show that for the
I
camera?
just did. Keep your mitts off it.
Paisleys.
This is how I get fed. I get fed in jerky when I come here.
Well, I used to buy you a sandwich, but I
You
don't
used to
anymore.
know your cheap ass.
Anyway, we always enjoy this on our road trips, guys.
Yes,
and
it's
they're
great
expanding.
stuff.
They're going to be in truck stops, or they're already in some truck stops.
Yeah,
so
that's.
this is really good quality.
I love it for road trips.
Awesome. So we have a question. Is there a question in the chat? So there's a question from Tony. Tony has a Toyota Tundra, and he's got a fueling issue. This is right. So 2017 Toyota Tundra.
It's more like a fuel capacity issue.
So he said, so there's 2 tanks available, or there used to be 2 tanks. So a 26 or about 27 gallon fuel tank. And then Toyota later on came out with a 38 gallon fuel tank, which is, I think, still the biggest tank in the half-ton segment. Ford has a 36.
Yes.
Others, Ram, GM have smaller fuel
Yes.
tanks.
Yeah, your Rebel's got smaller tank.
Can you summarize this question again?
So, Tony bought a 2017 Toyota Tundra from a dealer in Sacramento. According to the Monroney, when he bought the truck, it has a 38-gallon fuel tank, but he keeps having issues when he goes to fill up, even when he runs it out, to
Yeah.
the point where the fuel light comes on.
So he never
It
gets
never
over.
gets
Well,
38
yeah,
gallons.
it's
The
10
most he
gallon
gets.
less. He gets 28.3.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would take that to dealer, have him pull the pump out, see if the float's off or something, because 10 gallons is a hell of a lot. And
is.
if they sold you 38 gallons, unless like Ram is really tricky. They'll show you the rear axle ratio here, and it's number, and then it goes here, it's a different number. Then it goes over here, and the option side, it's a different number. So I don't know if Toyota does that too, where the 38 gallon is in a different spot, and your final tank may not be the same one. But you got to look at that on your Maroni. But if they're saying that it's 10 gallons off, they need to pull that pump out of the tank and see where the float is, where the little
Yeah.
float that turns it off and on, because that's fuel injected, so it's pressurized. They may need to do that, actually see if there's anything wrong inside
But
that
you know,
tank.
some manufacturers, without naming too many names, have actually capacities on their tanks
Yeah.
determined by the length of the pickup, the fuel
Oh.
pickup inside the tank.
That's what she said.
So I don't know why she said that.
Because there was something about a length or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
so-
I know you're not quick anymore, but yeah, I understand that.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So they're being tricky. Maybe there's something happened here. I don't know specifically, but maybe it's worth following up.
I
I'll
have
try to
seen
follow
that
up.
happen on aftermarket tanks. I put in aftermarket tanks to get bigger ones,
Yes.
and they're never what they say they are either.
Does that have to do with a pickup point on the pump?
No, because we installed it ourselves. We watched everything and we gooped it all up, put the pump in there, and
Use
so
goop?
we use a lot of goop.
Okay.
But anyway, I would take it to the dealer, make him pull it. I mean, if he can prove that on his Maroni, and it's in the left or the right column, make sure it's the very last set of
Yeah,
numbers.
and Tony, by the way,
Yeah.
do a video of just to prove it to the dealer. Like, show it on empty, and then
Yeah.
show yourself filling up, and just say, hey, look, 28 gallons.
Right.
What's the deal?
Right, or tell
Just-
them run the damn thing out of fuel
just-
and fill
just-
it up, and you tell me what.
Yeah, just show that on video.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some rights there. My goodness, these things are expensive.
There
So-
was a comment in from Mike Hodgins. He says that's normal. There's usually 8 gallons left over when it says 0 miles until empty. That's the reserve that Toyota builds into the Tundra.
But didn't he say he ran it clear out of gas?
well, he said
No.
he ran it until the fuel light
In-
past the point where the fuel light came on. He
Yeah,
didn't say
there's
till
mine's got like
empty
4
exactly.
or 5 gallons when the fuel light comes on.
But good gosh,
run
this
it
is
clear
10
out of
gallons.
fuel. That's
Yeah,
Tim-
that seems like a
that's
big
a
margin,
lot.
even
Yeah.
for a half-ton truck.
I know
Yeah.
Toyota is about reliability and not leaving you stranded, but 10 gallons is a big reserve.
What kind of mileage does that get on the highway, Andre? The Tundra?
Oh, not great.
Not great. It's probably
17-ish.
yeah,
So-
because they all got 4.3 rear ends.
Miles of reserve.
I know, 170
I know,
miles.
yeah.
You could be in the middle of a Saharan desert
Yeah.
and still get out on your reserve.
Those with that
No.
5.7, they have the 4.3 rear end, so they're not made for fuel mileage by any means. They're towing. They're like a
So-
dually.
So let's move on to Wayne's question. He is considering in the Ford F-250, and he has a dilemma between gas or diesel. I mean, this is a common question that we see a lot, right?
Yeah,
And we even wrote a book about it.
I think so.
Truck Nuts book. We discussed gas versus diesel pretty in detail. But what it comes down to, and he's saying he's considering 2016 or a 2017 Ford F-250. And by the way, 2017s were the new aluminum body next generation brand new
Yeah,
Super
17s.
Duties.
Yeah. So he answers his question there. 80% of the time, I will not be towing. So can you afford that extra, 8-10 grand for that diesel if
I
you're
would
not
say
towing
no.
there often? Yeah.
If you're not
That's-
towing a lot, and if you're not reaching your limits, so if you're not going up to 17,000, let's say you're towing
Right.
12,000,
Yeah.
6.2 V8 is still a great engine.
Well, it is, and now the 7.3 will be out sometime. But yeah, the 6.2 I've used
Well,
those
if
for
you can't wait
several
for a
years.
2020,
Yeah, and so
you
that's
want- yeah.
fine. I would not go with the diesel in that situation because it could cost you anywhere from 150,000 miles to 200,000 miles to break even on the cost of the diesel.
Initial cost,
and then you're
yeah.
paying 80 cents a gallon more. And then we all know they have problems over 100,000, 130 or so. They'll start needing fuel injectors. I mean, diesels. If you're using them all the time and you need a diesel, get a diesel. If you don't, they are a very expensive project.
I agree. If you're not towing a lot, if you're not trying to max out your truck, go gas.
Now,
all the
somebody's
way.
going to come in here and yell at me for diesel because people love their diesels, and I understand that.
Sure.
But I'm saying, I'm just
Sure,
trying to give you
some-
some economics.
If it's a working truck, you tow every day. Heck yeah. But if it's a recreational vehicle, I would say no.
So you're the professor. I want to be you're the wizard. I want to be the professor that tries to explain economics, I mean, you're the...
Wow. I don't know if people are coming here for economics all the
Okay.
time.
Okay.
So let's move on to Mike's question.
So you want me to lie to him? Is that what you want me to do?
No, but
Okay.
no, but not all economics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mike's question is about off-roading in a heavy-duty truck. Once again, something has to do with Toyota.
Must be
because
Toyota days. I
They're
see it
moving
on the
from
calendar.
Toyota. They're moving from Toyotas to other trucks. So
Yes.
he has a Tacoma TRD off-road, and what's best? He's asking. Is it the Power Wagon, or the Tacoma? Oh no. Oh, he's looking at the
Love a
Sierra
Power.
Heavy Duty AT4.
No, that was
No.
nice. So he wants to get a Power Wagon,
Yeah,
but the
Power
payload and
Wagon.
towing isn't high enough for his liking. So he has to upgrade to a bigger truck because of family obligations, and wants to get the Power Wagon, but it's not quite up to spec for his liking. So as far as what's available in that segment that still can hack it off-road,
Every other
Here's
truck
the-
but the Power Wagon. I mean, all heavy duties.
you can get
they'll
the
all...
Sierra heavy-duty
Sure.
AT4. It's coming with
So-
the 6.6 Duramax.
Yes, that's probably... And just like the... what's the Chevy called? It is called the...
Well, Z71.
Yeah, but I mean, that's... I guess I'm looking at a half-ton. That's different.
Trail
too.
Boss
Yeah.
is a half.
Yeah,
Half-ton.
Trail Boss is a half-ton.
So here's what I would say, because Mike is saying that he might want to tow a bigger trailer, and the Power Wagon would not do it. If he's got like a toy hauler, which is true, because when you load your family up, and you have a toy hauler, big heavy trailer, Power Wagon is limited to about 10,000 pounds towing
Yeah,
and about
yeah.
between 12 and 1,500 pounds of payload.
We don't know what his trailer weighs,
so,
though. So
there's a lot of other options. Obviously, all the other Power Wagon is the most off-road worthy one,
yeah,
but every other truck has some sort of an off-road package.
sure.
Like an
they all do.
F-250 has an FX4, and F-250. If you look at an F-250 next to a Power Wagon, they're the same height. I mean, it's ridiculous
Yeah,
how tall these
yeah.
trucks are.
Oh, it's insane.
So if you put an aggressive tire on a Ford F-250, or if you get like a Z71 package Chevy, although the older Chevys, the current ones, have that def tank that's hanging down.
I know. Yeah, that's bad.
So that's not great for off-roading. I know they have skid plates to protect the def tank, but still, there are other options. So you can look at GM. Even the Ram has an off-road package.
Yeah, and if you want to go diesel for off-roading, those are heavy beasts. I'm not sure that would be my first choice off-roading, but
No.
you got a toy hauler. You're going to fill it full of Razor Polarises anyway. You don't need to use the truck off-road. Take
I
that
know.
Polaris.
Take it to the
It's a
trailhead.
toy hauler you're towing.
Yeah, take it to the trailhead, unload your razors, and go. And any heavy-duty truck with an off-road package.
Yeah, and he
won't
didn't tell
take
us
you
what
there.
his trailer weighs, so we can't get real specific if we don't know what your trailer weighs. But you've got a lot of choices. I mean, all those heavy duties with an off-road package would do what you want. I mean, I would say, unless you need it for the capacity of the diesel, those are very nose heavy
Well,
in the sand and everywhere else. So
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of those off-road. But
We talked. Remember, we went. Unfortunately, we had to sell your goats. Remember this?
I remember that. Don't bring that up. It's a very sad time.
I'm sorry, but we talked to a lot of ranchers, and they specifically told us when they're off-roading, actually,
We talked to rangers.
Ranchers.
Rent. Okay, that's that Russian thing. I couldn't understand what the hell you
Sorry.
said. Ranchers.
No, farmers. They said diesel trucks are heavy. They sink in the sand.
They do.
So gas trucks are better at handling, off-road
Yeah,
situations.
that's the point exactly that I'm making.
Absolutely. You're a farmer.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
rancher.
yeah. Thank God I'm a country boy.
So, is there anything from the chat room?
Yeah, Brandon Waters is really curious about the only way to get a GM regular cab short box. Are they only offered in the Middle East with about 8 question marks?
Correct. I'm sorry. We're all frustrated by this. So there are a lot of images coming out from the Middle East where they have short bed 2-door trucks on sale or advertised over there.
Right.
GM has now put online configurator for a 2-door cab with an 8-foot bed.
Okay.
So this is like a working truck.
Right. That's Ford has
Right.
that in a 450.
Yes.
Yeah.
And no, as far as I know, the short bed is not here yet, or it will not be coming, but we'll double check. So unfortunately, if you get 2 doors, you have to get the long bed.
Well, think about it though. You get into the heavy duty springs, and then you shorten it up. That thing's gonna bounce like a freaking basketball. I mean, think about it. It's going to ride rougher than hell,
Yes.
and that's why. I mean, I've been in those kind of trucks,
Yes.
and that's where I lost that first tooth. But anyway.
There you go. But also, this is also the 1500s.
Oh, I thought you was talking about heavy duties.
No.
Never mind.
No. Same point, though. Same point. A short wheelbase is not good for towing. It's not good for ride. So maybe a longer wheelbase is good.
It's good for cruising chicks, and that's about it.
Whoa.
Right, Mike?
Right.
F-250 versus Chevy 3500. That's really interesting question from Joe. So he's asking about 3/4 ton versus 1 ton, and we did a video about this specifically to try to answer that question. Remember, you, Nathan, and I did
Right.
comparison. Basically, a 1-ton truck will ride a lot rougher because they have higher payload capacities,
Yeah.
stiffer springs.
Especially a single rear wheel one. They're
Yeah.
really rough right now.
When they're empty, oh my gosh, you can really notice the difference. A 1-ton truck rides a lot rougher than a 3/4 ton.
So, Joe, why are you comparing a 3/4 ton Ford to a 1-ton Chevy?
Well,
They're
the
different.
question was really, it's a question of budget because he's looking to buy an older F-250 or 3500 Silverado, and he wants to know which one is either easier to work on or just less expensive to maintain.
Well, they're all tough to work on, but
'Cause,
when Ford outsells everybody else like they have for the last, according to them, 40, 50 years, that means there's a lot more used Fords out there. And you
So you can get a
look
better
at it,
deal.
yeah, you look at Craigslist here or anybody's listing here, and they're just Ford. Oh, there's a Chevy. Ford, Dodge. Oh, there's a Chevy.
So Joe's on a low
That's how
budget.
that works.
So but he doesn't say if he's looking at the diesel. It depends on the engine.
Yeah.
If you're looking at a diesel engine, it can be really hard to work on.
Well,
you got
expensive.
injectors.
Yeah.
You got other issues, fuel filters, etc., etc.
Yeah, and Chevy the Duramax goes back to 2001, like you had 2001.
2002, yeah.
2002,
Mine
the
is
second year.
almost- yeah.
Yeah, and then Ford goes back to like, I don't know what the hell is it, 60 some long way back there for their 6.9 non-turbo. So, yeah. it all
And they had the
depends how far you're gonna
7.3s in
go.
the 90s as well.
Yeah, and diesels, when
But-
you get a lot of miles on them, they are expensive to
But
work
if you're
on.
on the budget, get a gas engine probably. That's what I would say.
Unless you're towing a
um,
big heavy trailer or towing all the time. So, that's not that
and-
we all love diesels, but I mean, we're just trying to show you that there is a difference. You don't always need a big diesel dually for everything you do.
Yeah.
You need to figure it all out.
Let's see. Other questions in the chat room?
not at the moment. Dan Atkinson had a comment says if you want a rough ride, try bobsailing in a semi tractor
Oh.
without a trailer.
That's true, and those
I did
guys.
that with Dan.
Oh, but that big tandem twin screws they call them, tandem twin screws,
Yeah.
are long. They have a lot of weight, and a lot of those guys pulling horse trailers, whatever, they chop off the back axle. Now it's called really a bobtail.
A real bobtail.
One rear axle. So the ones I know that are converting, they have to put 1,000 pounds on the flatbed or the frame, wherever they put it, to calm that truck down. Because they're made to just bounce like a basketball. And the duals are bouncy too. So, yeah, you got to do some modification. That's right. Bobtailing those trucks, even with a tandem twin screw, is a little on the rough side. But
Well,
thank God they got air ride cabs, air ride seat, air ride suspensions. They're into air.
By the way, 2 comments before we wrap up today's show. First of all, we recently tested the Power Wagon, the new 2019 one. And it surprised us. We did a comparison between Rebel and the Power Wagon. Really surprised me on acceleration. Great improvement on acceleration with a new 8-speed.
Right.
So they put the 8-speed transmission in there. And also much better fuel efficiency. I got like 16.2 on the highway in the Power Wagon. My brain exploded when that happened.
Was that a tradesman Power Wagon?
Yes, it was. It was the
So,
most lightweight.
It was
Power
one
Wagon.
you can buy for the same price as a Rebel, so I'm all over that truck.
Yes.
I think that's a value.
So previous question about the Power Wagon may not be, have good enough payload. They've improved it. They didn't increase the payload that much,
Right.
but they've improved the way it accelerates, the way it, and the fuel efficiency of it.
And it sounds like a badass. It sounds
Yes.
much better than the old 6.4. Sounds like a 5.7.
Yeah, so
I
you
love
can
the
check out-
sound.
I'm sorry, you could check out the video on TFL Truck. The other comment I was going to make is 2020 or the 2020 trucks that we'll be testing this year. It's really a year of heavy duty trucks.
Yes, it is. It is the year.
Ram is already out, right? Their new
Yeah, we've
generation.
driven those. Yeah, we can't even get numbers out of Ford. We at least have numbers
Right.
from GM, so we're waiting for Ford to tell us
So-
horsepower, torque, payload, trailer towing capacity.
Yeah, GM is next. So GM is probably going to be releasing their 2020 trucks probably this summer. I don't know exactly which month. We don't know yet. And then in the fall is the 2020 Super Duty. So we have to wait until the fall to actually get our hands on a Super Duty, and we'll get
Yeah.
all three trucks together
I know.
so we can actually compare them.
I don't agree with the marketing there because the people that are buying trucks now, they can buy a Ram, but they can't buy a GM or a Ford. But if they don't, and they know the numbers on the GM, so they have that in their mind, trying to decide between a Ram and a GM, but they have no numbers on the Ford. So if they're really stuck on that 7.3, like a lot of people really are waiting for that 7.3,
Yeah.
they can't make a decision whether they should wait for it or who is that guy sneaking around?
Somebody's
there?
creeping
I,
in.
I took my donuts out because he keeps hitting my microphone, so I thought,
Tommy.
hey, he just sneaks right in. Look at that. Look at that.
Tommy's here, guys.
He's the big cheese.
Hello.
But anyway, so that I wish they would come out with numbers because there's so many people interested in that 7.3, and if they had the numbers on it, some people might wait to buy it, or they're going to end up buying a Ram and Chevy, and that's fine for Ram and Chevy. At Ford, maybe it's start giving Ford a lesson.
I don't
Give
know.
us some numbers, dadgummit.
I don't know why Ford is waiting.
Being all
It-
shy.
It may have to do with production factories, et cetera,
No,
et
that's the
cetera.
marketing team. The marketing team's over there plotting. They're plotting.
But they're doing it for a reason.
I know.
It doesn't
they're,
quite make sense.
they think that somehow they're going to surprise the world with some giant numbers, and everybody will flock to buy the trucks. I don't
Very
know.
complicated term, Andre. It's called hype.
Hype.
Well, I call it
They're
marketing.
building hype.
You can call it a
Um,
hype or whatever you
Dan
want. but
Atkinson wants to compete against our heavy
We have not
duties.
touched our chicken. What? What? Nobody has any money? What? The tax money's gone? What the hell? The poor chicken said
People-
here.
Everybody's hurting right now.
People don't have
My
refunds yet.
Gosh.
okay?
Did you tell them all the cool stuff they get, like these here and these here and those
Well,
there? And,
for-
oh, look, wait a minute. That was my tip.
Move it.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Doodah, doodah.
Tommy
Is that all
has-
you have? Is $1?
Tommy
I
has.
got-
There you go. Anyway, we usually we have hats, we have stickers, we have patches. I don't
Does this
know.
motivate you folks out there? Give till it hurts.
No, nobody is motivated.
Okay.
No.
You can also support TFL on Patreon or directly through PayPal by going to our websites.
Yeah.
Or just
Patreon,
write a check out to MrTruck.com and send it to me.
you could do that as well. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We'll be doing another Truck and Truck show next week.
Yes.
So come back next week. We usually do them on Thursdays. Today we had to do it on Wednesday because we're running a couple of iGauntlets tomorrow.
What are we running?
So we it's a surprise.
What?
Should it be a surprise?
It's a
gonna be
surprise. Damn it. Don't be telling the world everything we're doing.
Well, I want to know what we're doing.
We'll have a whole crowd of people
No.
up on I-70
No,
tomorrow.
Michael, no.
Oh, look at
Anyway,
that. Hey, you got some donations.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. Look, 2 of them.
well, big truck, big RV.
Holy cow. Good way to go, big truck, big RV. I know you had some money. $2
so-
is all you have?
So big truck, big RV donation. Thank you very much.
Oh, we love you, dude.
I like your detail on your videos.
Yeah, he's down in
Tony,
deep South Texas.
Mishki, thank you guys for the great
Wow.
content.
Tony
Nathan,
did
the Power
$10.
Wagon,
He's our
maybe-
leader. He's our leader, man.
Who?
Did $10 for Tony.
Yeah, Tony, but he just bought a Power Wagon
Well, there you go.
and still has money left over.
Holy
to
cow,
give.
look, more money's coming in. It's worked. Hallelujah. We're going to give out Bibles here next. I'm so happy. I'm just so happy. It's like working at a strip bar, man. People throwing money at us.
Wow, I don't want to
Oh,
see that.
oh, who's this?
What?
Jim
Jim
Malik. I think I know that guy.
Really? You know Jim?
I think so.
Thank you, guys.
What, we leaving?
We're gonna take off.
Okay. Say goodbye to the chicken.
We gotta set up our trailer.
Oh yeah, we're busy.
I'm gonna play us out. Okay.
Getting ready for the Ike tomorrow.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Look at that. You got your $1 now.
Oh, here, your hat.
No. Oh no, I don't want to wear a hat again. Gotta wear the hat twice in one day. Yeah.